mass starvation, systematic targeting of civilians, the deliberate destruction of homes, schools, and hospitals. These are not just acts of war, they are crimes against humanity. The 2023 Israel-Hamas conflict left the world grappling with unspeakable atrocities. And now, the International Criminal Court has taken a decisive step by indicting Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant.
The anti-Semitic decision of the International Court in The Hague is a modern Dreyfus trial, and it will end the same way. The decision to issue an arrest warrant against me, the democratically elected Prime Minister of the State of Israel, and our former Defense Minister, was made by a rogue prosecutor.
Welcome to Deep Dive Global, where we unpack stories shaping our world. Today, we're examining one of the most explosive legal developments in recent history: the International Criminal Court's indictment of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for alleged war crimes against humanity during the 2023 Israel-Hamas conflict. On November 21, 2024, the ICC issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant. This unprecedented move accuses Israel's highest leaders of committing war crimes, including starvation as a method of warfare and crimes against humanity, citing murder, persecution, and other inhumane acts. Let's break down this in depth. First, let's understand the charges. The ICC alleges that between October 8, 2023 and May 20, 2024, Netanyahu and Gallant oversaw a military campaign in Gaza that systematically targeted civilians. The key allegations include: 1. Starvation as a method of warfare. The Israeli blockade of Gaza, according to the ICC, deliberately restricted access to food, water, and medical supplies, weaponizing deprivation to weaken the population. 2. Crimes against humanity. These include mass killings, forced displacement, and widespread destruction of civilian infrastructure like hospitals and schools. The ICC claims that these actions were part of a deliberate strategy to punish Gaza's civilian population for actions of Hamas. The evidence cited by the ICC is damning: relentless aerial bombardment that left thousands of civilians dead, destruction of critical infrastructure like water treatment plants, and the denial of humanitarian aid. The court argues that these acts go beyond military necessity and constitute war crimes against international law. Now let's address the ICC's jurisdiction. Israel is not a signatory to the Rome Statute, which governs the ICC, but Palestine joined the court in 2015. This means the ICC claims jurisdiction over crimes committed in Gaza, West Bank, and East Jerusalem. Israel has rejected this jurisdiction, arguing that Palestine is not a sovereign state, but the ICC counters that, as a recognized member, Palestine can confer jurisdiction. This debate underscores the broader issue of how international law grapples with stateless entities. Central to these charges is the principle of command responsibility. This legal doctrine holds leaders accountable for the actions of their subordinates if they knew or should have known about crimes being committed and failed to act. The ICC alleges that Netanyahu and Gallant directly oversaw policies that targeted civilians. This includes evidence of military orders authorizing strikes on residential neighborhoods and their public statements defending such actions. Here's the catch: the ICC relies on its member states to enforce arrest warrants. While 124 countries are obligated to comply, Israel has powerful allies like the United States and Hungary who have denounced the ICC's actions.
We reject the court's decision to issue arrest warrants for senior Israel officials. We remain deeply concerned by the prosecutor's rush to seek arrest warrants and the troubling process errors that led to this decision. The United States has been clear that the ICC does not have jurisdiction over this matter. You've heard us say this before. Whatever this prosecutor might imply, there is no evidence, none, between Israel and Hamas. There's just none.
The ICC indictment has triggered a diplomatic firestorm. Supporters of the court see it as a step toward accountability for Palestinian victims.
I will be very sober in my comment. It is not a political decision. It is a decision of a court of a court of justice, of the International Court of Justice. And the decision of the court has to be respected and implemented.
So how unprecedented is this? The ICC has issued arrest warrants for sitting leaders before, most notably Omar al-Bashir of Sudan. But unlike al-Bashir, Netanyahu governs a nation with strong international backing. This raises critical questions about the ICC's ability to hold powerful leaders accountable. The ICC's indictment of Benjamin Netanyahu marks a turning point in the pursuit of international accountability. Whether this leads to justice or deepens global division remains seen. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the stories shaping our world.